Alright, let's move over to the next tricky bit, and that would be to create the collision geometry and also the rotational limits. And the reason why it's tricky is, of course, because we have so many transforms and we don't want a collision shape on each one of them. And you also will see that there are some pre-baked orientation and stuff that makes the rotational limits a bit weird. But yeah, let's start with the collision layer. I'm going to start also by removing this stuff that we don't need anymore. And then I'm going to drop down an agent collision layer. Here it is. Right, it's always fun with these kinds of things. First of all, it depends on the asset you have, and then it depends on the shot you are making, and then it also depends on the VFX you. So a lot of people have different opinions about how ragdolls are supposed to look, so you always have to go back and forth a little bit. My tip is to start with a simple rig, and then you can just iterate and add stuff if you see that you need that later. I'm going to switch with the W key, so I can switch between wireframe and see the full geometry. And I also have this handle here selected. I'm going to start with a simple one, so I'm going to take the legs here and just create some geometry. I'm not going to add something for the hoof, and it might be that you need to do that depending on what shot you are doing, but in this case I think we're going to get away with it. So let's go back, and then I'm just going to drag it out a little bit. Also gonna this one as well, have it a little bit closer. They don't have to be exactly matched geometry. Also, depending on what kind of shots, like sometimes you have a lot of agents colliding with shutter and the camera is up close, and then you have to pay a little bit more attention. But a lot of times you can just get away with something that roughly matches. Do that one. Cool. And let's do the front legs. Same thing here. Just gonna extend these. Also going to rotate them a little bit, so I'm going to press O, and then a little bit like that. Do that with that as well. Press B again, so I can have the box selection, and then O. Okay. Okay. So the next step is that I usually put something on the hips, or I want to have it on some kind of root joint that is connected to the rest of the rig. You'll see one problem. If I just select what I have in a viewport and select this guy, I get this hip bone. You might think that would work, but if we go into the horse rig, you will see that the hip bone is actually not connected to the rest of the part of the rig. Well, I mean, it's connected through other transforms. But I'd rather have this hip transform here. You see that it's directly connected to the legs and to the spine and also to the tail. So let's go into this one, and here with the hip bone, I'm just gonna remove that, and so it's just the hips. Now it switches position and it comes over this joint here, and I want to add a collision geometry for this joint later, so I'm gonna move it back where the other one was. I'm gonna put rotation, rotate it over B. Something like that, and then I'm gonna have it, I can extend it a little bit. I'm gonna do that one. Something like that, maybe have it a little bit, and then I'm gonna do this one. Sometimes you don't need a collision geometry on each joint in the spine, but in this case it's kind of long, so we want to have some bending and some twisting. So I want to have something on each joint here. And then cool, okay, and then I want to have something on the chest bone. You see you have this dot here in the middle because the chest bone is actually all these three bones, because if we go to, let's go back to the horse rig. Let's see if we can find the chest bone. The chest bone goes to the neck, and it also goes to the legs. So that's what you can see here. But yes, just click the middle one. So now it's just aligned to one of these. But we want it straight, so I'm gonna rotate it. I'm gonna press O, something like that. and move it up, rotate it up like this, and then I'm gonna drag it out. Something like that. Okay. So now I have these guys. Oh, let's do the tails as well. Just gonna click over here. So there is the tail. And here for the neck, I don't want to have a collision geometry on each neck bone because I don't want it to be too bendy. So I'm just gonna do it on this one, and then I'm gonna extend it so it's gonna meet up here. Okay, so like so maybe. And then I'm gonna put one on this one. Now I lost all my points here. The bug, I couldn't see them, so I just went outside and back in again and then pressed the handle. I got it back. So let's select this guy. And then so, and the next thing I want to have, I would need that to connect to the head here, so I'm gonna extend it a little bit. So let's move that up a little bit. See how that looks. And the last thing I want to have is the skull bone. I'm not gonna try to figure out which one of these are the skull bones. I'm just gonna, you can see here, by the way, if you want to see, gonna go here, and then there will be skull bone that I want to have. So I'm just gonna type that in here, and then I'm gonna go here, follow the spine, and then the neck. And here you can see it's actually not connected to the neck bone here. So the neck bones we've just selected here are in a different chain here. So we need to go through all these controllers here, and then there is the skull bone. So let's select that. And then obviously we need to adjust this a little bit. So I'm gonna press O, rotate it, and then box and start to match it up. And I'm not gonna do anything with the ears. I mean, it could be a situation that we need to put something on the ears, but let's work with this for now and then see if that will be enough. Cool. All right. Okay. So the next step is to set up the rotational limits.